Hello! Happy OM System Day. I am Claire from OM System, and today I'm doing a live stream with my good friend Mishalla from across the pond.
That's me. That's me. We've never done this
We've
before.
never done this. I'm always with Claire. There's always Claire and Claire. Now it's Claire and Mishalla.
I'm always very alone.
You're always on your own. So it's nice to be together. It's nice to work together live.
I feel like our powers are combining. We have created
stronger.
One super live stream.
And we've got an amazing new jumper.
Yes.
You don't call it jumper.
We've got the new
you
jumpers.
call it
No, we call them hoodies.
Hoodies, okay.
What do you call them in the chat? The chat will tell us what they call them.
The chat will tell us.
Is
Hello,
it a hoodie?
everyone. Tell us what you call these. It's got a hood, so yeah, you're probably right. We have loads joining us. We've got Finland, Switzerland, Michigan. I saw someone near Disneyland.
Ooh, I want to go to
Italy.
Disneyland.
Canada. Everyone from all over the world. Welcome to this OM System Day live stream. We've had a great year, haven't we, Mishalla? It's been so much fun.
It's been a long year, but it's been a fun year. We've done so many live streams this year, but especially between the two of us and then all the tech expert team. We've had so many awesome live streams. It's been great.
It's been
now we get to do this together, and I just feel really excited about that.
It's so cool, so cool. So we are here. Yesterday we launched the brand new OM system, OM5. How cool. And we did that awesome video where we went on adventures around the world, testing out the new camera, meeting our wonderful OM system ambassadors. So if you haven't checked that out, if you haven't seen the launch video, then go and have a look at that. Mishalla will pop it in the chat. I will be chattering away here because Mishalla's doing all the back end witchcraft and wizardry that I don't know anything about. So I get to just sit here and have a nice chat with everyone. We've got a few more people coming in from Norway and Germany and California and Belgium. So hello, welcome. Today we have a really cool live stream lined up. We're interviewing two of our wonderful ambassadors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
one from the US and one from Denmark?
Yes, correct. We have Matt and Daniel joining us, who we couldn't tell you beforehand, but they've been using the brand new OM5. But now we can tell you, and they'll be showing off some of their fantastic images. But later we've got a tech session, right? I called you Claire.
I'm not Claire.
Oh my goodness.
Coffee with the Mishalla Claires.
Coffee with the Mishalla Claires. Cheers.
Yeah, but first we also got to use OM5. You and I, we went on excursions.
Absolutely.
I did not get to go to Europe and go to Switzerland with you, which is so sad.
But you went to the Tetons. That was incredible.
It's absolutely amazing. I feel like we should look at a couple of our photos that we took because they're not as good as the photos we're going to see later by any means.
Especially my first one. I swear my first one is just a crazy group selfie. There it is.
This one's really good. Claire's super excited about everything here.
Do you know what? That is just my go-to take a selfie face. It's always, if I look back at all of my pictures, I'm just like, hey, mouth open, eyes wide. Look, Julia and Gav have the same, so it's totally fine.
Yeah, it's selfie face.
So we got to go, Claire and I got to travel with Gav and Sam to Switzerland. I've never been, I don't think any of us had ever been, and it was so beautiful. We went up Mount Pilatus. We were joined by OM System Ambassador Julia, who lives over there, and she took us, we watched the sunset, we got up for sunrise. That crazy selfie was like really early in the morning after we'd hiked up to the top in the dark, and we were all very tired. Claire snores like a trooper. I shared a room with her and I didn't sleep much. So it was a fun experience. We had thunder and lightning in the morning and it was so great to try out the handheld high res. The portability of it was just excellent. So we were just hiking with a small little backpack. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
That seems like a much more labor intensive hike than we did in the Tetons. We stayed pretty low to the ground and we walked to the water.
I'm not going to lie to you, Mishalla. We did go up to a certain level on the train. It is the tallest funicular, the steepest funicular in the world. So we did go up most of it on the train.
Oh, good. Absolutely. All right. And then, you guys went to Sweden too.
I did, yes. So we met up with Rania and Pernilla. Pernilla is our lovely colleague from Sweden, and we had an amazing little adventure in Sweden. We went into Stockholm. We travelled up to the north of Sweden to meet Rania near where she lives, and she's got this amazing little forest in her basically her back garden. mushrooms and wildlife and occasionally moose. I didn't get to see any moose, so I was slightly disappointed. But, you know, she was showing us focus stacking on the OM5. And of course it rained. Northern Sweden, we got wet. But the cameras are weather sealed, so we were all right.
You know, I did get to see a moose on my trip to the Tetons.
You didn't. You went with Ted, didn't you? That looked like so much fun.
Yep, Ted. Ted is our brand graphic designer for OM System, and he went on the trip with us. He's in the top right. He was doing a lot of our product photography when we were out on this trip. Big shout out to Ted. He kept me sane along with Matt Seuss on that trip when we were up late at night filming the videos and shooting the stars, which was awesome. But it was, you know, incredibly cold and incredibly beautiful. But, you know, Matt's going to disagree with me. When we talk to Matt later, he is going to tell you that it was not cold and he was fine. He also has like a very expensive heated jacket, which I do not have. So that's his expensive heated jacket, in case anyone's wondering. But this is our hike. We literally wandered out to the water the first couple nights, and we would do some live ND shooting of the water first, and then as sunset came along, we started doing our star and astro photography, which was a lot of fun.
The astro stuff was so cool, so good.
Yeah. So that was kind of our jam, what we were up to. So what else do we have to talk about today before we bring our guests on? Because I know we've got a little bit to look at. Well,
we have a really cool video coming up. So some of our ambassadors got together recently in Denmark. So we have Daniel, who's going to join us in a moment, Rania, Julia, and Louise all joined up and had this great little adventure out shooting with the OM5s. And yeah, if you don't follow them, we'll pop the links in later, but they're worth a follow just for these amazing adventures that they went on. But they sat down around a little campfire and had a chat about the features of the OM5, what they find really cool. So let's take a look at that, shall we, Mishalla?
Yeah.
Denmark.
Do it.
We are on the island of Moody, and we are all together, 4 ambassadors from OM System. This is the first trip, ambassador trip actually. So it's really, really nice to be able to be together and be able to inspire each other. And one of the cool things that we have been playing around with is the new OM5. That we have been out testing, and now we're just gonna talk a bit about it and share some ideas, some tips, and some of our experiences as well. So, Rania, should we try with you? Like, I've heard that you've been using it quite a lot for some of your trips in the nature.
Yeah, I live so close to a forest, like back home in the north of Sweden. So, like within 5 minutes, I'm in the forest. So I've been going out a lot, taking pictures and foraging for mushrooms, and then, you know, I'm bringing a first aid kit, snacks, and some extra layers because the weather can change quickly, some water. So then it's so nice that the camera is so small and light that I can bring this stuff and kind of bend down and forage for mushrooms and do all that, and it's not in the way, but then I can also capture photos of me doing that and the cool mushrooms and the close-ups. So it's been really fun. And then I've heard that Louise is doing more like starry sky stuff, which is not what I do at all. So I'm curious to hear about that.
Yeah, I love to shoot the night sky and the northern lights. So the starry sky AF was a game changer for me because it takes a lot of time to try to focus manually on the stars.
Oh yeah, I've tried that.
Yeah.
We've been there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now the camera does that for me, so it's amazing. I love it.
And also the weather seeding. I mean, like last weekend only I've been out in the mountains, and it was like snow and rain and sunshine, everything in one day.
Yeah.
And I can keep on shooting. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, all the others are stuffing away their cameras, and I'm like, wow.
Walking around.
I'm walking around. I can get all the cool shots. I love it. And
that's so good. I've been up into Switzerland once, and it changes so fast.
It changes so quickly. Yeah. And also I can charge it via USB, which is also super important for me because when I do like multi-day trips and stay in a tent, I mean there's no hub, no power outlet, so I can just charge it with my power bank.
Yeah, cool.
Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah.
One of the things I've actually also played a bit around with is the live ND because I remember when we hiked in Finland, we passed by like some streams and also some
there
waterfalls.
Were a lot of water,
and just like trying to play around with like getting that flowy look. I actually think it's quite nice.
It is really nice.
Also, when I went to the Faroe Islands earlier this year as well, I went and played a bit around with like all the waves on the coast, and especially there where the waves are so big, especially during the autumn, and the autumn storms. So it just gets so rough, but you get that smooth look, you know.
Yeah.
And it's really nice that I don't have to carry the filters with me.
I
know.
never carry filters, but then it's
No.
nice if you come across a waterfall that you
Yeah,
can try
true.
that feature and see what it looks like.
Exactly, yeah. It's just so nice and like intuitive.
But have you tried the live composite?
I played a little bit around with it, but I should play way more. Like that's one of the next creative stuff I want to
But
try.
I feel like that's also more your thing.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I love thunder and lightning, so that's really cool. I can just put my camera on a tripod and then do a live composite, and it just captures all the lightning for me.
Oh.
So it's amazing.
That's crazy. Yeah, I haven't noticed that yet, but I also don't get lightning where I live. I need to come visit.
Yeah, you need to come visit in the summer.
But it's super nice. I tried it. Actually, I've tried it out also in Costa Rica at once. It was like a big summer storm,
Yeah.
and just placing the camera there, just putting it on live composite, and then just lean back and just enjoy the show. It's like
amazing.
whoa, lightning over there, whoa, lightning over there, and you just look at the photo and you see how it just builds up.
Yeah, because it's impossible to predict where the lightning's going to be and have the camera and be ready. That's impossible.
And also in Switzerland, we tried the Pro Capture with the birds. That was like super cool.
Feeding the birds like this, be like, come on, and be like this. Yeah. But it
I
was hard
tried
to
that
do.
when I did not have a Pro Capture feature, and it's really hard.
It's so hard. It's so
super hard and really cool.
Love it. So we should visit each other in the other countries.
Yeah, we have a lot of different things to see. Yeah, we're going to do a round trip.
Cool.
Way to-
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
I don't have anything. But
Enjoy, and we hope that you will like the new OM5.
yeah. Bye.
Hey.
We're back.
I love that. We're back. Oh, that was so cute. I love that. Some
So
really,
should
really cool
we
things.
have our guest come on?
We
And
should,
he was
yes.
in that video, so we
He
should
was
talk
in
to
it.
him and hear what he really has to say.
Absolutely.
And we can ask him questions.
Definitely. Let's bring on our OM System ambassador, Daniel from Denmark, and give him a round of applause.
Hey,
Should I
hey.
clap?
Hi, guys.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
And you. Welcome. That video was so cool. I bet you had so much fun with them all.
We really did. We had 5 days together, and we had
Wow.
so many different conditions, both like weather-wise and everything from starry skies to moody, foggy forests and beautiful sunsets. So it was like we all had some different styles as well, so we could really inspire each other. So that was so
all of
cool.
you are so different in what you do, and your, like you say, your styles and your photography. So it's been really cool following the journey over the last 5 days and seeing what you got up to. So everyone out there, if you have any questions for Daniel as we go, please pop them in the chat. We might not get to them all today, but we will come back and answer them. And we're also looking to do a couple of Zoom sessions, so stay tuned for that as well. So Daniel, should we jump right in to look at your images?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So this
This
is
is amazing.
a few photos from both from our trip to Finland to northern Lapland. That's the one of me when we were hiking and doing the video project. And then the one with the autumn colors is from when I visited our fellow OM ambassador, Julia, in Switzerland a few
I was
years,
so,
actually
so
last week.
jealous. I was so jealous of that trip. I was messaging Julie going, oh, those colours are amazing.
We were so lucky with the weather as well. Like we had 5 days of full sun, and because of the temperature up there, like this valley is called Engadin, and this is my first time there, but it's located so high that this is where all the largest stars to pop. Kind of the first, as far as I understood on Julia. She's the local guide. But we were so lucky with the weather and had beautiful colors. And actually, on the day when we left, it started raining, and we could see that some of the trees already the needles started to fall off. So we were it was perfect timing. Yeah,
Right
literally.
place, right time.
Totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've had so many adventures, haven't you? Like you said, Lapland, and then you've been to
Yeah,
Switzerland, and then you were in Denmark. You've taken this
Yeah.
camera everywhere with you.
Yeah, and also in northern Norway earlier this summer, and also in the Faroe Islands earlier
Wow.
in October. So a lot of hiking, and it's just been so nice and light. So it's been like really nice travel companion to bring with me.
Yeah,
So
definitely. And Andy has said, are they using the OM5? Yes, they are using the brand new OM System OM5.
Yes. This camera has traveled all over Europe with you. It's
faktiskt.
literally that camera has gotten more footprint than most people do in their lives. That's amazing. I love everywhere. So I am a huge fan of this. Where was this taken? Because I actually don't know.
Yeah, this was actually taken here in Denmark, and actually by coincidence, kind of when I was planning this to organize this outdoor trip with the other ambassadors, I found out that this partial solar eclipse would happen. So I actually went on a website and ordered some of those, like some solar eclipse glasses, like cardboard glasses for us. So we were looking great, all four of us, while we were trying to take a photo of this, and we were actually like a bit unsecure if it would be too cloudy, but when we were standing there and then like we just saw like holes in the clouds and we started to see the sun and it happened, and we were like, okay, well, let's put up the tripods just to like stand, so we were like sure to have the whole thing there. And then you should see some videos coming up later and of us. We were having like a really nice time. We were super hyped about being able to watch this beautiful and quite spectacular phenomenon.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love the way the clouds look smoky in front of it. It's like the quintessential Halloween photo. It was perfect timing. Perfect timing for this.
Yeah.
I am trying to get my controls to work. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
It's a live show. Bear with me.
It is. Live shows, anything can happen. Internet, button pressing. You have got some lovely comments though. Emily said stunning image. Frank said beautiful image. So already the love for the photos is coming through.
Glad to hear.
These are cool.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
The one on the left is the birds, like in Switzerland, in the valley of Engadine. When Julia and we were out hiking, there was this spot where you could actually feed the birds. So we came by there and we brought some seats, and then we were just standing there waiting with a hand out, with the camera up, just waiting. waiting, and it was super hard to predict when the birds would come, but sometimes they would just fly by just to see if you had some of the good seats. They were actually very picky, we found out. Like they were sitting there, like kind of like took some of the small ones off and then maybe took a big one and then flew off again and then come back. So but it was super fun. It was a quite nice experience, like kind of like just outside the door, if you can say that. It was only like a 15-minute hike from the apartment that we stayed in.
Oh, nice.
So it was quite fun.
Like you said on the video, then that's where something like Pro Capture is really cool, and it means that you get that perfect shot, wings open in flight, get that great shot.
Exactly, because it was super hard to predict when they were sitting on your fingers, like when will it take off, when will it take off. And so with the Pro Capture, it's way easier to capture that moment. It is.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Bending time a little bit. And what is the name of this mountain?
I don't know what the mountain is called, unfortunately, but this is from my trip. Before I went to Switzerland, I went to Tyrol, which is a part in Austria, just next to visit one of my friends. We were actually doing a hike, and like the story behind it is actually a bit more sentimental, but it's actually quite nice though, because I had a really good friend who unfortunately fell down from a mountain a few years ago and died. But because of Corona, I couldn't go and attend his funeral. So one of my three of my friends, they got together and actually set up a cross for him up in the mountains. And now I finally had the time to come down and visit it. So this was actually from a morning hike. We hiked up to visit the cross and write a little story, a little saying hi in the book that was up there, and left a little photo together with him. So it was actually like a really beautiful morning. So just hiking up there and seeing the sun shining just on that single large tree was just a special moment. So I think we were like 10 people gathered together up there and had a really good time. And some of them I hadn't seen in like 3 years. So
And that's it. You'll always look at that photo and you'll remember that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
That adventure that you went on with your three friends. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So but I just thought that it was that was just a beautiful moment, when you're like hiking up, looking down, then you're like looking up, and then suddenly you see this beautiful view, be like, whoa, okay, remember to enjoy that and remember to take that in, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's such an important memory to have too. I love when you have that photo that tells you that story. And so like 30 years from now, you can stumble upon that photo and remember that exact feeling of that moment that you were in.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what photography should be about, I think. And I think that's
is.
such an important image to remember all those little pieces of your life. You know, I think sometimes we get focused heavily on photography as like a skill or a need, but you have a story to tell with that. And I just think it's so beautiful.
It is. I think we forget sometimes, we're so into, you know, tech. These are made to make memories, you know. That's why we have these. That's why we take photos. And I think that is a really great story.
All right.
We did have one question I saw come in from Janie asking if you use auto ISO.
Yes, some of the times I do, depending on depending on where I am. But most of the time when I'm out in daylight, I'm just using go as low as I can. For me, I got a nice workflow where I have it in aperture priority mode, my camera. So and then just work from there. Kind of got a nice flow from that. Depending on if I'm out shooting sports, sometimes as well, I might do some different changes on it. But normally I'll just focus on the ISO just as low as possible, like ISO 200, especially like just in daylight, and then just work from there. Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, these were Mishalla's favourite set of photos. She put them together.
Yes.
She was like, this is so cool.
This is my Halloween compilation of your images. I needed it to go together.
And that's Rania, right? Is that Rania in the photo? Yeah.
So this is actually the beautiful woman on the photo is Rania, one of the ambassadors. And we just arrived down on this island in Denmark called Moody. It has like a big forest, and it also has like some big white chalk cliffs out in the ocean pointing to the east. A beautiful place to watch the sunrises. And when we came down there was just like this very, very thick fog. So we did a hike out together with Louise as well, and she brought this lamp, and she was like, "Hey, could we do some cool stuff with this?" And then we're like, "Yeah, well, how about this? Hey, what about this tree?" So in that way, it was so cool to be together and inspire each other and be like, "Hey, getting ideas." That was so cool. So Rana, she was the model, and we just got a perfect Moody forest.
Yeah.
And some great looking trees as well. So we just played a bit around with different compositions.
Very, very cool. And Frank says that shot in the forest is so cinematic. It is. I love the wide. What lens did you use for that?
This one I was using I think this one was used the 8mm, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
Either the 8 or actually I used the 12mm. Let's see. Yeah. I think this one was the 8mm actually.
Nice.
And then very cool. For a bit further away. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody asked in the questions, Roland asked what lens you used in your photos. And I think we were talking about the last photo. And that's my fault. I did not put the lenses on the photos, guys, because I didn't want to guess wrong.
If the one with the bird, I think I used the 12-45. And the one with the mountain, I used the 14-150 millimeter. I actually also wrote an article about that lens. I have it right here. The 14-150. It's actually one of my favorite travel lenses because it's so light and it is so versatile. So, but you can maybe find the article.
Oh, brilliant!
About that. Nice. Yeah, get some inspiration for that.
Nice,
fantastic.
Absolutely. I think I know what photo's next if I remember right. I'm hoping I guess right. Come on.
Is she right?
Yes, I love this one.
This one is
so cool.
And
it's like a night sky photo, but not a night sky photo. Yeah. I love it.
It is, I can see all the stars.
It's a blue hour photo. This is from Switzerland as well. So Julie and I, we got up 2 mornings in a row. Got up at like 5:45 in the morning to hike 40 minutes up to this lake to watch the sunrise. And as you can see in the mountains, they're starting like to get a small kind of glow, but that's because the sun is rising behind us. But this lake in the autumn just gets this foggy surface. So it looks so cool. And when we hiked up there on the second morning, we just got up there, and we were hiking up while it was still dark, and you had the stars above you. And then we got up to the lake, and I was just looking out there, and there was a person standing in the water.
I was going to say, is that someone in the water?
Yeah, it is. And I was like, well,
Wow.
and then I looked because we saw a few other landscape photographers, and I was like, is he modeling for someone? And then I just sat down to do like a swim. You could kind of like see him. It was like, and just taking a morning swim. And it was maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 degrees when we were hiking up there. So it was a winter bed. But I just ran up there, and I was like, okay, shit, I just gotta take a photo. And I took one shot, and this is the shot with the 8mm handheld, 2 seconds, and then when I wanted to take the second shot, he was already on his way up. So I was like, I was like 10 seconds too late.
But what a great shot that is.
But I managed to get it just quickly because I had the camera ready right there. So and as you can see, you can still see the stars in the sky above you and above in the sky here, right?
It looks frosty. Was it frosty there?
It was frosty, yes. Oh. Yeah, it was nice and crisp in the grass when you walk there.
That's one brave swimmer, that's for sure.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that and picturing how cold it is. And honestly, when we get to some of our images with Matt, there was also people in the lake where we were at in our photos as well. And it was I was layered in bundles. I had warmers in my gloves. I was freezing, and 2 ladies are running in and out of the lake for a photo shoot. Ooh. And I was just like, I'm so sorry for you two. It is very cold. I think it's funny. It's a theme of the OM5 is getting in a very chilly lake, apparently.
Yes, I like it.
I like it.
We also going into the season, so it's
I'm not going to do it, guys. Definitely.
Yes, we had somebody that had to pop off. They will watch the replay. Yes, we forgot to mention that at the beginning. Of course, as all of our other shows are, this is being recorded. It will live in perpetuity forever on the YouTube channel. You can watch it anytime you want. You can listen to Claire and I banter about nothing as often as you would like and see Daniel again. Yay!
And this crazy person swimming in a freezing cold lake.
Yes, absolutely. Daniel, one sec. Let's chat a little bit about what was your favorite part of your trip? Like, what was the one thing?
Yeah, which trip?
I know your trips are much longer than ours.
Pick your
favorite location.
Yes, that's good. Yeah.
I would say it could be Switzerland.
Yes. I knew it.
But it's just because it was just so magnificent settings we had, and I'm still working my way through the photos from the trip, also from the Faroe Islands as well. I haven't had time to have a look at them as well, but they're coming up soon. But I just it was just so beautiful colors, and I remember the favorite part about Switzerland, besides the autumn colors, was that I for the first time ever tried to be on a scenic red train driving through the landscape in a photography wagon where you could roll down the windows.
I saw that.
And take photos.
I saw that on your Instagram. That was very cool.
It was so nice. Yeah. So Julie and I, we took of course, a lot of trips with the train. Yeah. And took photos of the beautiful trees and the glaciers and the sunsets and the whole thing. So that was really, really cool. It was.
What I was disappointed that I didn't see, Daniel, was you on your hands upside down with your legs in a funny position. Daniel does breakdancing as well. So he came to the UK once and did this awesome breakdancing. So I was expecting to see Daniel at the edge of that lake on his hands with his legs and I didn't see it, Daniel.
We gotta make a winter edition. So I might go down there to visit Julia in winter. So we're actually working on that now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Excellent.
So I will make sure I will remember that. Then I'll send you a photo. Yeah.
Awesome. Funny. Well, Daniel, your pictures are incredible. We've had so much lovely comments. Corey put your photos are fantastic. Lovely photos someone else has put. So really great. And it's so brilliant to hear about all of your adventures with the new OM5. And I love all the stories you've been doing, all the video that you've been in. So thank you very much. And thank you for joining Mishalla and I tonight.
Thank you so much for the invite.
Today.
This morning. I was like, it's morning for me.
It's morning for you. Time zones blow my mind, honestly.
It's like the middle of the night for Daniel. So thank you for taking the time to join us and talk with us and share your photos. And definitely check out the comment section when you depart and say hi to everyone. Thank you, comment section. You guys are holding up well today.
Yes, good job.
Sharing your friendly positivity, which we
They're all
love.
having a nice chat in the comments, I can see.
I know.
All lovely.
They
Amanda's
are.
here as well. Amanda's in the
I know.
comments.
Hi, Amanda.
Hey.
Yes, we've got some other OM System ambassadors in the comments too. I definitely saw,
I saw
Peter Baumgarten.
Yeah.
Yep, Peter's in there. So you guys can all heckle all of the rest of our ambassadors as well and ask them your questions. But yeah, Daniel, enjoy your evening, and thank you for taking a little part of it to spend with Claire and I. We appreciate it.
Of course, it's always a pleasure.
We'll see you soon, and next time, we'll come to you in person, right, Michelle?
Yes,
That'd be
yes,
nice.
please. I would
more
like to
than
come to
welcome.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
Talk
Cool.
to
See ya.
Eric. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, where are we going to go, Michelle? You're further away. You're all the way over there in the States.
Everywhere I go is a very long flight. It doesn't matter. I'm in Northern California with a tiny airport.
Just come to Europe for a year, and we'll just tour with the OM5. I think that's a good idea.
There we go. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I did get to go on a mini trip, a
You
mini
did.
experience, and it was
I
really
enjoyed
exciting.
all of the photos and messages you sent me about how much sleep you were having. That's what I enjoyed.
Oh, there was no sleep happening, but that's what happens when you
did a great job.
stay up super late with your companion, who I want to introduce now because I actually love Matt Seuss. So I'm going to bring Matt Seuss on, OM System Ambassador Matt Seuss, who's muted. He's going to have to unmute himself, otherwise we won't hear him.
There he goes. Hey, hi,
Hey,
Matt.
how's everyone doing?
Good. Yeah.
Hey, how about those photos that Daniel had? And I say we got to do a petition here to get him to do a selfie video with the OM5 on that breakdancing.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
There
in.
we go.
All right. Everyone
With the vertical
in the
video?
comments.
Yes,
With the
exactly.
vertical
Stay
video.
vertical.
Yes. Under a night sky.
Yes. Oh,
Good.
that would be very challenging.
All right,
Actually,
let's do it.
Matt and I learned that lesson that filming video under the night sky is uniquely challenging. And thank goodness our videographer, Ted Colgrove, who works on our team, is also a night infrared and night vision enthusiast. So he had night vision lenses with him.
Yeah.
Helped us film a little
That
bit.
was very good.
Yeah, it was a very challenging night.
Yeah,
But your
especially for
video
Ted
came out cool. Your video
Ted
looked
rocked
awesome.
it. I mean, he had all the gear and everything like that. I mean, him and I were geeking out between scenes and all that stuff. He's already cost me a lot of money because now I've already gotten a stabilizer gadget thing and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks, Ted.
Yeah. You can send him a bill. It's fine.
Okay, perfect.
So for those of you guys who don't know, Matt Seuss is an official OM System ambassador, but he's also a photo educator and tour leader, which is kind of part of the reason why I chose him to lead me through the Tetons, because I don't know anything about that area, but you teach lots of workshops out there. So you're really familiar with it, right, Matt?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have probably about 4 or 5 workshops that I teach out in the Tetons every year, from spring to summer Milky Way. Actually have one that's going to be exclusive for OM system shooters for next year on the Milky Way, and also in the fall and the winter too. So Tetons is only about 4.5 hours away from me. I love it there, and such a fabulous park.
Okay, can I just say, Mishalla, we should go to that. Yeah, we should definitely be on that workshop as the technical experts.
Definitely.
Experts. No, just kidding. Claire and I know our stuff. We're smart. This image that Matt has shared here is unbelievably true and real, and it's just magnificent. I have never experienced so many stars in my life, and I'm just so glad that Matt knew all of the secret places to go. He wouldn't share his list with me, but he has a secret list of places to get the best photos. But do you want to tell us a little bit about how you accomplished this one? Because I know this is way more advanced than my level of star.
Yeah. This location isn't one of the secret ones. Actually, I hated shooting this night. This was the night after you guys left, because we never got a chance to go to the barns when you guys were there with me. And I had to get a shot of the barns. And so I was there the next night, and I actually hated taking this photo. It was so crowded there. There was at least 20 photographers there, all getting their night shots. So there was, you're dealing with other people's lights and headlamps and red lights and everything. And a little secret on this photo here, if you look in the foreground, the grass is kind of lit up. That was actually from someone's red light that I had to desaturate in Photoshop and change that a little bit. But also in the Tetons, you're not allowed to do light painting either. So you have to sort of wait for cars and, a little bit of serendipity that happens in the Tetons. And in this area here, it was really popular. And so there was always cars driving by. So the headlamps can actually light up the foreground there. And this is a stacked photo. So what I did was I photographed, I got my little app that tells me where the Milky Way is going to be. And so I knew it was going to be coming up behind the barn. And so the foreground is actually a blue hour shot that I darkened up a little bit. And so I got some light from the cars and from other people's headlamps and everything like that. Got that vertical shot and then waited for pure dark. And then I put the OM5 on a star tracker and then got the exposure for the stars. And then in the computer, in the digital darkroom, blended them together. So the settings that you're seeing there, that is for the blue hour shot. And let me see here. I had the settings for the tracked photo when the OM5 was on my star tracker. That was a 60-second exposure at f1.6 at ISO 500. So allowed me to get a really nice low ISO to really take advantage of the stars in the sky. And yeah, just putting them together in Photoshop. I'm really excited on how this photo came out. And, of course, the Starry AF makes focusing on the stars so easy, and it is such a welcome addition to the OM5 to have it on a, more of a prosumer camera. Have these advanced features now in the OM5 is really fantastic for everyone involved.
Yes,
Such a
that's
cool
my
shot.
favorite feature. I struggled very hard with manually focusing on the stars, and I feel like it's almost cheating, but I don't even care because now I have cool photos to post and I feel really happy about it.
And I saw a question in the comments before, someone asking about Usenet. Can you put me on full screen again? Because what I can do here real quickly, if this is going to work, let me switch this over, and my screen probably went dark for a second there. And hold on one second. I'm going to just show you real quick how to get this into the Starry AF. So really, all you have to do is go into the AF mode and go over here, switch it down to Starry AF. And then there's one other setting that you have over here in the Starry AF settings. You can go for accuracy or speed. And normally I'm just going for accuracy. It only takes a couple seconds. And then all you have to do is from there is just make sure that you have a wide enough autofocus point and focus right on the stars. And you'll see as it's doing the Starry AF, you'll see the stars get really bright or really big and really small. And you'll see that Starry AF just locking right in on the stars, and there'll be a little pinpoint. And you're ready to go and take your photos. And you are locked in with accurate star focus.
So good.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
We have a quick question.
Yeah.
Someone asked what lens was used for that shot.
Oh, good question. Let me see here.
This is all my fault, you guys. I didn't put the lenses on because I wasn't 100% sure on the lenses.
Everyone wants to know about the lens. That's all they want to know.
And now
here that was at f1.6, so that was probably with my 17 1.2 Pro lens.
Great lens for the stars.
Yeah,
really cool.
I love that lens. That's a fabulous lens. The 12mm 2.0 is another fabulous lens. The 8mm 1.8, and then any of the f2.8 lenses. But I find the 17 1.2. That's what I've been going for a lot more lately, and just gives such a clear view of the sky.
Right. I found that during that trip, I usually go for the 17 1.2 because I love that lens. And because the landscape was so expansive, actually, I'm going to skip to your next image while we talk about this. The landscape was so expansive and beautiful that I ended up using the 8mm almost the whole time we were out there.
Yeah.
This looks like an 8mm.
This one here was with
right?
the 8mm.
Yeah.
And,
nice.
the 8mm is fabulous because you can, for one, it's an f1.8 lens and it is super sharp. But you can also play with the distortion to your advantage too. So I didn't do any defishing of this at all or anything like that. This was photographed in the parking lot from where we were. And it just has some really interesting trees. And if you just line up the trees with the Milky Way and take advantage of that distortion that the fisheye has, you can get some really interesting and creative shots like we got here.
This is really cool.
And you can also use fisheye compensation, which for my Milky Way time lapse that I did, that's actually what I did is I used the 8mm, but then I did the fisheye compensation to de-fish the image for my time lapse. But again, it's so wide and sharp, and it's a 1.8 lens, so it's perfect for that star photography.
Yeah.
And now the OM5 has the fisheye compensation, so you can get more use out of that lens. I found a whole new love for that lens when we were on that trip. Seriously, you have no idea. Awesome. All right. I think there's
in the comments they've been discussing this.
Yes.
Susie guessed the 17mm. Amanda was going for 12mm every time for stars. So it's nice to see them all having a chat in the comments.
Peter agrees with me on the 8mm. Thank you, Peter, for backing me up. Peter always has my back.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, and Peter does some amazing nice guy stuff too. So he knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely. And this one, I was here for this shot. I absolutely remember how cold I was, and Ted had brought his electric hand warmer for me. So my hands were sitting there in the warmer. But tell us about this location, because I can't remember where we were, and I know it's on your top secret list.
Yeah, no, this one isn't. This one, most people can guess where this is. So this is at Oxbow Bend. And so it's a really, really popular sunrise and sunset location. And, it's so great because you have the Snake River, and usually in the middle of the night, it is crystal clear and still. And so we got those nice reflections out there. We have a little bit of light pollution coming from behind the mountains, which gives it a unique look too. I'm not too concerned with light pollution in my night sky stuff, especially in things like this. It gives it a whole different look.
I like
and then
it,
we also,
I really like it.
And we got some magenta and a little bit of green going in there too, and that's air glow. That's an atmospheric condition that happens in the sky. And Tetons is really nice in certain areas that you can really pick up that air glow in the sky. And again, just gives a whole unique photo to this, where this is a silhouette, but you're getting some extra layers in the sky in addition to the Milky Way to really round out the image. And we did a time lapse. I did a time lapse on this too. I don't know if you had that loaded up, Mishalla.
Yeah, I do. Let's look at the time lapse, because it's just phenomenal. You can see all the cars driving by. Yeah. Every time they drove by, I was like, stop! You're getting in my photo. I'm going to play it one more time. It's too good. I love this. Good. And the amount of shooting stars that we saw in this location was just unbelievable. So crazy.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. We even got a chance to photograph. Well, I did, because I was quick with the Starry AF.
That was amazing.
The Starlink satellites going over. So we don't have that photo loaded up, but that was kind of fun.
That was awesome.
Where we were just starting to get set up, and I was like, "Whoa, what is that in the sky?" And Starry AF, I just hit that instantly, and my camera was on the tripod and was able to get a shot of that. I'll post that on Instagram at some point. Actually got 2 shots of Starlink that worked out really well. One from this location.
That's awesome. I actually took my first ever night sky time lapses in this location with Matt Seuss. He inspires me because he has awesome time lapse on his Instagram, which I shared just a minute ago. You guys have to check it out. He does amazing, awesome astro time lapses, but mine is not as good. I didn't even add any of my photos, Matt, because I didn't want to be shown up by your amazing stuff.
You took some great
photos, but you also went somewhere without me. This is not fair. You didn't here.
Sorry,
you
guys left too early. I know. This was photographed last week on my Capitol Reef workshop. So this is out in the Badlands outside of Capitol Reef. Really, really remote area. I love photographing out here. I love going into the remote areas where there's less people. And, it's in having this camera be out there in remote areas. I mean, this is just like the perfect camera with the weather sealing. And this is a really dusty area. I mean, the camera is just sitting on my, in my 4Runner with the windows down and getting all dusty and dirty. And I don't have to worry about anything at all. But this is a high res mode shot. So this is in tripod high res mode. So this is giving me an 80 megapixel image, which is just insane detail on this, and so sharp and so clear. And I'm shooting into the sun, so I'm using filters too. So I have a reverse grad on me or on the camera photographing this, so I can balance the sky, the brightness of the sky with the darkness of the foreground. And this was actually processed in Lightroom. So Lightroom now, Adobe does have support for the OM5 right off the bat. So when you guys get your camera, you'll be able to be using the software, either OM Workspace or Photoshop right out of the bat here. And yeah, Adobe's doing a great job with these files right away.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. And then I like the comparison here. So you also tried the new feature, right? The handheld high res.
Yeah. So this is actually
cool.
at the same location, the same moment too. So when you're out there photographing in landscapes, you know, especially when you have a nice sunrise, you got to pay attention to what's happening behind you as well. And, you know, I've photographed here before, so I knew that this was going to happen. But, you know, you get that sunrise light just starting to come up, and then you got these buttes behind you that just light up just for a minute or so in the morning. And so I got some really nice warm horizon glow on the background there that fades up into a blue sky. And so all I did was on the OM5, I had it on the tripod, took it off the tripod real fast, still have my filters on. I think I actually might have swapped the filter for not a reverse grad, but a standard graduated filter on this. Put it into handheld high res mode real fast and got that photo. And, you know, I got this photo, the next photo,
Nice.
you know, the sunlight had already come up and it was starting to wash out and everything like that. But, you know, was able to get that photo quick and easy. Handheld high res, you're now dealing with a 50 megapixel image, and just love the color and detail on this image.
Yeah, it looks so cool.
And I am in so much trouble about these lenses, guys. I apologize, Ken. I know you're mad about the lenses, and I'm so sorry. I didn't have the lens information.
We're not angry.
It was my fault.
We're just disappointed.
This one, so the sunrise one would have been, the one before would have been with the 8-25 f4. And this one here, I think what I did was I switched my lenses. This was shot with the 12-100. And so that's where I had that quick filter change, because I had my OM1 camera on standby. And so I was trying to shoot more with the OM5 and was able to switch lenses real fast, get into the handheld high res mode to get this shot. And then I had to go back to shooting the sunrise as it then came up above the horizon.
I was going to say, you're dealing with such short amount of time. You need like 3 cameras in this time zone when you're trying to shoot. Yeah, it's so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we dealt with that with our video as well. The night skies, it was getting so dark, so very fast. You only have seconds to get what you need done in.
You guys did an amazing job, and
but you know, one of the secrets with the OM5 to working fast is you have that My Menu, so you can put all your favorite settings in there, and then be able to get really fast access to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this one,
and then is this blue hour? Or is this morning or night?
It is. Yeah, this is morning light, and so this is live composite. And I had it set for 50-second exposures, and this is about a 20-minute exposure, and that was as long as I could do because the sky was getting brighter and brighter and brighter as it goes to sunrise. Now I also had the advantage of a maybe about a 20% moon behind me too, so it was light. The moon was lighting up the foreground on the rocks, and then the rising sun behind me was also giving me some ambient light as well. And it was able to get just enough darkness in the sky so you can see those star trails. And, you know, I'm facing north. You can see the North Star in the upper right-hand corner. So that's why the stars are doing a circular pattern around the North Star as the Earth spins. And, you know, I love doing live composites during the blue hour, you know, so when night goes into day or day goes into night, because it gives you a really nice natural foreground as opposed to having the light painted or do other techniques or whatnot.
I've never tried it in blue hour. That's a really good tip for everyone out there, is to go and try star trails.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like if you're doing the star trails, though, you need to go with the evening. You got to go with the nighttime blue hour, so it progressively gets darker, not brighter. Matt, you were burning from the wrong end.
Well, I don't know. I kind of like the photo.
No, I'm just kidding. You know, it's your photo, and you can do whatever you want, Matt.
I love it.
It would actually be a little bit more difficult going the opposite, because then your settings are set for that brighter area, and then it's getting a little bit darker. So, but you know, the advantage of live comp is that you can see the results on the back of your screen, so you can make make adjustments and stop it early if you need to. Yeah,
that's so cool.
Somebody asked you a very specific question. He recently switched from Canon. Welcome to our team, by the way, Roland. Hello. we have sweaters in case you need one. He recently switched and is lacking a good wide angle lens to replace a 16 to 35. What's your lens in that range that you like, Matt?
Yeah, so you'd be looking at the, let me see, I got it right over here.
I like that you're so prepared. Here's one I made earlier.
Yes, I made it myself.
So you'd be looking at the 7 to 14 2.8 and try and get that in focus there. So that would be an exact copy basically of that Canon lens, the 7 to 14 2.8. And that would be a great lens to use for night sky and also for regular landscapes. If you don't need the f2.8 though, if you're not doing any night sky, the 8 to 25 is a fabulous lens. And so it's a little bit smaller. It doesn't cost as much, a little bit lighter. It doesn't have that bulbous front on it. So you have a lot more access to different filters that you can use with it. But each one of those lenses, those are my go-to for landscapes. I usually now use the 7 to 14 for my night sky stuff and the 8 to 25 sunrise, sunset, and general landscape.
Nice. I knew you were going to have the perfect answer for that, and you were going to have a show and tell.
Oh, of course.
He's prepared.
Matt's ready.
He knows. He got the notes. He's ready. Yeah.
Can he get an adapter for Canon lenses? Yes, there's adapters. You can get third-party adapters to use your Canon lenses. You can do that for sure.
Yeah,
we do not make them.
You'll want the OM system lenses. I mean, because then you got the weather sealing and the lightweight and
yeah, much lighter for sure. That's the whole point. That's why you come to us when you want lighter gear.
Oh yes, for sure.
Somebody wants to know quickly, do you have a filter for your 7 to 14? Do you have the filter rig for it? I know
I do. Yeah. I'm actually a Nisi ambassador and reseller too. So if anyone has any questions on filters, Nisi, there is a adapter for the 7 to 14 that fits right over the front of it. And it's really nice. You can put 2 filters on it and not get any vignetting on it at all.
Awesome. And somebody asked about live composite and how to make sure it's not overexposed. And wrong. The comments are coming in quickly. Y'all need to calm down.
They're just going. It's because they know we're finishing in like 6 minutes.
I know we're running out of time.
Got to get their question.
Yep.
But this is a good point about doing, with live composite, kind of pre-setting up your shot before you jump into live composite. It's always good to take your sample image first. And I know, Matt, you're better at explaining this than me.
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a shot. So to make sure that you're not overexposing it, the great thing about live comp is that it's going to show you what's going on in the back of your screen and make sure that your histogram is viewable. And so what I end up doing is, if you start your live comp when you're looking through the viewfinder, then the live comp will stay and everything will be built through the viewfinder. So you got to look through the viewfinder. So I always start my live comp. I'll look away from the camera so that I'm in live view, and then I'll start my live comp, and then I'll be able to see the histogram. And that first shot that you're doing is really your base exposure. And if you notice that that's overexposed, stop live comp, adjust your settings, let in less light, so then you're not overexposed. Now, if you're doing this in the middle of the night, and the only light that's changing is the stars, and they're just moving across the sky, you're not going to overexpose anything. The time that you're going to start having an issue of overexposing from that base exposure is if you start getting new light introduced, like a car that drives by and all of a sudden obliterates the barn with its headlights, or like the photo that I was showing you just a little while ago with the sunrise getting up. So the sunrise is getting up, and so live comp is designed to only record new light. Well, with the sunrise coming up, there's new light everywhere. So I had to keep a close eye on my histogram as I was watching that photo, and I was sweating it out for 20 minutes because right when I got to 20 minutes and I stopped it, I actually was overexposing my blue channel. And you could see that on the review afterwards, but it wasn't enough to kill the photo. So I was able to recover that. So just keep an eye on your histogram as you're doing the live comp. And then once you see it getting close to overexposing, just stop it.
Yeah. I always take a long exposure of what I want my background to look like. So if I want my sky to look a specific way or the hillside to look a specific way, I'll pop it in manual, and I do a little bit of some exposure finagling and take just one single individual image a couple of different times until I get that silhouette looking exactly where I want. And then I'll pop it into live composite and apply all those same settings to it and say, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how we're getting the shot. So there's just it's a little bit of practice, but always trying to, take your shot and see what it is first before you get committed, because you don't have to stick with your live composite. Like Matt said, if you're getting into it and it's not the right thing, don't let it run for an hour. Stop it.
Yeah. And I'll give you another tip too, is that to underexpose your live comps just a little bit to try and bring out some more of that detail of the stars. And so you don't need an f2.8 lens to be photographing live comp at night. And, when we were doing that, Mishalla, we were using f4 lenses for a lot of the live comps.
Right. I think that we're bumping up against the hour, so I think we have to let you go, because we got a tech talk coming right after this, right, guys?
Ooh,
Matt,
awesome.
it's been great.
Yes, it's been so much fun, and I'm so excited to be a part of this on OM System Day and the release of the OM5. I love this camera. I'm going to be getting one. It has so many of the cool features from the more expensive cameras now in such a small, compact size that is perfect for travel and all the adventures that we've been doing.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you guiding us through the Tetons, finding us the locations, keeping us safe with your bear spray, and teaching us how to scare bears away, and not keeping me warm with a very fancy jacket. You should have told me that.
We wouldn't have had a good video if I told you that, though.
Exactly. That was my favorite part of that video, was where it jumped into you going, I have none of these things.
I think so. Knowing Matt and knowing our relationship, I think he purposely set me up for that.
Definitely. I love it.
Well, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Matt, for your time. We appreciate
Thanks,
having
Claire,
you
Mishalla.
on here.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You have a great afternoon. All right, Claire, it's down to just
so much fun at the stars.
It was so fun.
Looks so cool.
I did not know how beautiful Jenny Lake was, and I'm sure everyone that's watching who's been to Jenny Lake will tell us in the comment section it's like the most beautiful place on the planet.
I want to go to the Grand Tetons.
It's amazing. I got off the plane, and you walk off the plane because it's a tiny airport, and you're just surrounded by a mountain range. Like, that's all you can see, and every place you go from Jackson all the way up to pretty much Yellowstone is just the most beautiful thing. Like, the whole time we're driving, Ted and I are in the car going, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Like, we were just pulling over on the side of the road to photograph things. And moose, we found a moose. There was a moose.
I'm very jealous. It's like when Claire and I were in Switzerland, and like, you're going up this train and you're just clicking. You're just so excited because it's so beautiful, and you're just not even thinking about it. You're just going, yes, this is amazing.
Yes, these are the best pictures of my life. Nope, this one is.
Oh, this one in the same one, but zoomed in a little bit.
Awesome. Well, again, I linked it in the chat earlier. I will link it again as soon as we wrap this up here. If you haven't seen our launch video to understand what the heck Claire and I are talking about, we took 4 photographers to 4 different countries around the world to kind of showcase all the different features of the new OM5, and you can see our journey. And then if you want to hang out in about 1 more hour, we're going to have a tech talk with Claire Harvey May, the other Claire of the Claires.
Other Claire. And also with Thomas and Tito, some of our colleagues from Czech and Spain. So it's at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. BST, and 9 p.m. CET, right?
Good work.
Yes.
Look at all those time zones. Sorry, Australia.
I'm sorry. Too many. I can't fit that many in my head. So head on over. You can ask them anything. Obviously, camera related. Don't go crazy, guys. And we'll be looking at doing a couple of Zooms with Daniel and Matt probably later next month. So keep an eye out on our social channels and stay tuned for more. But this has been fun. Thanks for having me, Mishalla.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this with me. I'm always alone, and I feel like this has been a really interesting mashup. Next time we need other Claire. We need the other Claire.
We should just bring in like loads of us at once and just go crazy. Yeah.
Nothing would get accomplished, and everybody would just hear us.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone, for joining us. Happy OM System Day, and we'll see you in about an hour.
See you then.